Hello, my name's Melissa, and my leader Kirsten has reached out to me and has asked me if I would share my story with you. I have been affected by hormones so much so in life that it has affected pretty much my entire life. I'm not used to doing videos, so I'm going to make this video, and I apologize if it doesn't seem very professional, but I'm just going to tell you my story and let's see where that takes us. When I was young, I didn't get my period until I was 16 years old, which felt a little strange when all my friends were getting it, but whatever. I had eventually gotten my period when I was 16, and they were extremely heavy. There were literally times that I would have my period for 43 days in a row, and then I wouldn't have it for a few months, and I would have it for 47 days in a row. It was insane. I remember being in stores in the bathroom stalls in pain, like on the floor, holding myself. It was horrible. So I had a doctor suggest getting the Depo-Provera shot when I was that young. I wasn't sexually active, but they explained to me that this would help me and would help my hormones, even though I wasn't sexually active. So I went along with it. I got the Depo-Provera shot, and that was probably one of my biggest regrets in life. After I got the Depo-Provera shot, my periods did start to disappear. They started to go away. And I started to experience anxiety and depression for the first time, and it was hardcore. It was debilitating. I couldn't even function. I would go out with friends from time to time, but it was literally a battle. I would have to be in my head the entire time, telling myself to breathe, telling myself that it's going to be okay. It got so bad in life. When I was younger, I wanted to live. I never wanted to die. I just didn't want to suffer anymore, and the life I was living was a life that was suffering. I was told by a psychiatrist that I had a chemical imbalance of my brain, and that was pretty much something I was going to deal with for the rest of my life. I was always against taking the medication, but I took the medications, and so I always fought with them. Oh, I don't need it, or can we switch, or get me off? And finally, one time I had one tell me, you're going to be on this for the rest of your life. It's a chemical imbalance of your brain. So I accepted it. I went on. And then my periods started to stop. I wasn't getting my periods. And I was about 20 years old at this point. I'm also not that great with timelines. There's a lot of hormone disruptions that I've had in my life, and I don't recall each thing step by step. But anyways, so now I'm in my young 20s, and I had a miscarriage. At the time, I did not know that I had a miscarriage. I know now that I had a miscarriage, but I had a miscarriage. It started in my car on my way to a girlfriend's house because we were going to go party and have a good time. And I got to her house, and so I had that. And then I, again, wasn't getting my periods. At this point, I had gone almost 3 years without a period. And I was experiencing all the symptoms that a menopausal woman would experience. My body was constantly shivering and jittering inside. It felt like this at all times. And hot flashes, depression, no sleep. I was a mess. I was a literal mess. And then I started to pick up books about natural health. And I started to remove toxins from my body, and I got rid of the medication. I had a really bad experience in life. There was a point when the medication wasn't working. It never worked, but there was a point when I just didn't feel like I needed or wanted to go on with the life that I was living. It's not that I didn't want to go on, it's just I didn't want to go on the way I was going on. So, there was a lot of bad with that, but I got off the medications, the antidepressants. I got off of all of the birth control pills. I would rotate. I would do the pills, and then I would do the NuvaRing and whatever. And then I had a second miscarriage, and I didn't know I was pregnant, and I started to miscarry. I never knew if I was pregnant or not because of the fact that I had polycystic ovarian syndrome, as I was told in life. later on. So I had a miscarriage, but this one I actually had a DNC. I went to the hospital. They did what they normally do if you know you're having it. And me and my now husband at the time, we started seeing the fertility clinic of Chicago. And they basically told me, you have lots of eggs, you have what it takes to have a kid, you just can't have a kid. And they did a surgery on me. They removed some cysts from me. That was painful. I was awake for it and it was not medicated. And they told me that I probably wasn't gonna be able to have kids. I would have to have another woman's egg implanted inside me, which is great. You know, that's cool for anybody it's cool for, but at that time it was just so overwhelming that I decided that that was not the plan for me. And we got pregnant. As soon as I quit the fertility clinic, I got pregnant naturally. And we got to, you know, hear the heartbeat. Everything was great. And then we lost the baby. And so I had another DNC, and I had the OBGYN at that time tell me that I probably was never going to get pregnant and be able to keep the kid, and that the chances of me having a kid on my own was basically not an option. And then there was some testing that was done. I have the paperwork. I was going to show it to you guys, but honestly, I want to just rid myself of those terrible times. But I have tests that said that I would never have a kid that would be okay. So I have a doctor telling me I can never get pregnant unless I use another woman's egg. And I have tests telling me that I could never have an okay kid, a healthy kid. So we said, forget it. We're not going to have kids in life. And we decided that we were just going to move on and go on with life. So after I did that, I was exercising, I was detoxing, I felt great, I lost a bunch of weight, my polycystic ovarian syndrome symptoms went away, and I got sick with the flu, or so I thought, and I took a pregnancy test, and it ended up being that I was pregnant. And then I was scared, I was super scared, but we went through the 9 months. We had a healthy, beautiful baby girl. She just walked in the room coincidentally at the right time. And this is the baby. This is the little girl that I was told that I could never have. And here she is. She's healthy. She's super intelligent. She's been tested. She's totally normal. She's totally fine. Yeah, and so I guess what I want to share with everybody is that you can help yourself. I will tell you that what I've learned is diet and exercise, and I know we hear it all the time, but those truly have been my saving grace in life. I stopped experiencing any anxiety and depression in 2009. It went away as if it never existed. I will tell you that I've been mentally in facilities trying to take care of myself, or, you know, I'd stay there overnight. So I've been through a lot with that, but it all comes down to, I believe that because I took the toxins out of my life, I'm talking about your hairsprays, your makeups, your lotions, your laundry detergents, all of that, and then eating right, eating healthy, getting myself at a healthy weight, and then just, I am a firm believer on the power of your words also, and being positive. But through it all, I've had doctors, from psychiatrists, psychologists, OBGYNs, all tell me that I had a chemical imbalance in my brain and I couldn't have kids. Well, guess what? I haven't been on medication since 2009, and I have a beautiful, healthy little girl. And I wouldn't let the doctors make you ever feel like there isn't options for you, and I also wouldn't allow anybody to ever make me feel that you can't heal yourself from within. So this is my story. Thank you for listening to it, and I just hope that somebody's able to watch this and it can make them feel better and know that there is hope. Don't give up.